What's good, family? It's your man, the YB, back once again. So we got some breaking news right now regarding your man's Oscar De La Sniffer. He's exposed Tank Wank Davis versus Ryan TikTok Garcia. Negotiations are once again breaking down. I'm almost over the situation. Genuinely. The only bit that keeps me half going is the fact that, well, at least it hasn't flopped like Spence versus Crawford. But even it might as well have done. Yeah, can you? It's been a year, this, you know. I'm pretty sure this time last year they were saying Tank versus Garcia April 2022. We've just flipped it around a year. The fuck? Anyway, ESPN leaks the following: plans for bout between Davis and TikTok Garcia are not complete. The deal for the planned April 15th super squabble between Gervonta Wank Davis and Ryan TikTok Garcia hasn't yet been completed because of a dispute over the rematch clause. Garcia's promoter, Oscar De La Sniffer, told ESPN on Monday. De La Sniffer received the contract 2 weeks ago and said every other issue has been resolved. It boils down to who's going to control the rematch, he said. We're literally down at the 1 yard line. What's holding everything up is the rematch clause, said De La Sniffer, the Hall of Fame boxer who founded Golden Boy Sniff Oceans. It's only fair if Ryan wins, then our side controls everything as the A side. This is just the way it's always been. It's common sense that whoever wins is the A side. That's the bottom line. We're not reinventing the wheel here. The rematch clause is unilateral. Can be triggered only by Davis in the event he loses, Oscar De La Sniffer said. Typically, boxers have 30 days to activate the clause. The unresolved issue pertains to the network and lead promoter of the potential return bout. Davis is promoted by Al Heyman, PBC champions, and fights exclusively on Showtime, while Garcia competes on DAZN. The sides agreed that the 136-pound catchweight pay-per-view, which is slated to take place at a venue in Las Vegas, would be produced and distributed by Showtime, with PBC the lead promoter. If Garcia wins and the rematch clause is activated, Golden Boy and DAZN argue that their side should be the lead promoter and pay-per-view producer/distributor. PBC and Showtime maintain that the promoter and the network should remain the same for a potential encore bout. Al Heyman is dictating everything. They've asked for this, they've asked for that, De La Sniffer said. Who comes out first? The penalties if Ryan comes in overweight. We've given in. We've negotiated, and everything has been very pleasant. If Ryan loses, sure, there's no rematch. It's been a pleasant negotiation, it really has. I really hope their side doesn't fumble the bag and we have no Super Bowl. We at Golden Boy are just protecting our TV partners. It's only fair that everything gets switched around if Ryan wins. Wow. There we go then. Oh, there's one more quote here. We're holding strong because we know it's fair and we feel 1,000% this fight is going to be made and be the biggest fight of the past few years, De La Sniffer said. So, what's my opinion on this? Well, there is precedent to some extent regarding this matter. For you man who don't quite get what's going on here, essentially, there's a rematch clause that only benefits Tank. If Ryan loses, there's no rematch clause. If Tank loses, there's a rematch clause. Ryan Garcia's team are arguing, Oscar De La Sniffer is arguing, if we win, if we end up rolling up and smoking on that Gervonta Davis pack, you best believe We want full control of the situation. We want it to be on the zone, and we're going to be Big Daddy. Now, from a pure boxing point of view, I absolutely agree. That's how it should be. However, unfortunately, these days, in the diva A-side world, really, Floyd Mayweather, he's the one who proliferated this whole culture, the whole A-side culture. Back in the day, people, for the most part, would get in there and squabble. Floyd Mayweather was the guy who made all these weird rematch clauses and all that other rubbish. A-side this, A-side that. That's Floyd. Corny sounding dude. Now, the point is, look at Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua has made a career of losing to people. Ruiz, he lost. Usyk, he lost. And unfortunately, when you are the A-side, you have the ability to enforce them rules. And every time AJ has lost, he has maintained power in the rematch. Yeah? Essentially, the rematch contract was already negotiated in the first fight. That's how Eddie Hearn's been doing it. So there is a precedent for that. There is a precedent that says, listen, if we lose, we're still in control. Does it make it right? Not really, but you get what you negotiate. Now, bearing in mind, with all due respect, Anthony Joshua at the time was a champion, a unified champion at that. So actually, Tank, you don't have no belts. Oops. So really here we have a case of Tank's only A-side isn't to do with belts, it's the fact that he's somewhat of a pay-per-view draw. But there's nothing underbacking that. That's the only edge Tank has. What makes Tank an A-side over Ryan Garcia? It's not the quality of opponents. They've both only fought bums. It's literally the fact that Tank has sold a few more pay-per-views than Ryan Garcia has. That, for me, on that basis alone, that's not enough to warrant backing it all up. Now, if you're a champion and you lose, that makes sense to me. You're a champion, you're worth something, you lose, you get another shot, and things stay the same. But Tank ain't done nothing. Tank doesn't have that clout from my point of view. And I'm sorry, but it's become apparent to me that Tank is a scary dude. We hear the catch weight is 136 pounds, which tells me that Tank must have begged for it to be as low as possible. 136 pounds is the smallest catch weight you can get. It's not in the middle, is it? Which tells me Tank was saying, and Oscar de la Sniffer said, we accepted all of their terms. And after that's what the facts show. Tank literally begged for the fight to be as low weight as possible. He wants Ryan Garcia as drained as possible. He's so scary. Tank's the scariest dude I've ever seen. Tank has all the advantages. He has the weight advantage now, draining Ryan down. He has the power. I mean, the guy's weird, isn't he? I ain't trying to hear no more from Baltimore dudes. You're corny, 100%. Baltimore dudes, you need to go and check your mans, because your man's corny. Yeah, and now he trying to diva his way. What's this about? I don't get that. You've been given everything. You've got all the advantages, and now if you lose, you want even more advantage. Do you know what I'm saying? A real gangster, yeah, or anyone real would say, listen, if this pretty looking ass TikTok dude is good enough to smoke on me, that's my problem. Let me hold that. Yeah? And on that basis, that's the whole point, isn't it? Right? I lose power and control. That's how it's worked for centuries. Yeah? For centuries or millennia. An army who goes to war and loses, you don't retain control, do you? No, your control goes, your power goes. That's been the case. That's been the case. And yet, Tank want to come along and change all the rules. Well, actually, no, if I lose, I want to maintain control. Get the guy out of it, 100%. He corny. I've been done with Tank. He too corny for me. He give it the whole, oh man, I'm from Baltimore. We do it different. You do it corny out here. That's what you be doing. 100%. You got listen, Tank. You got one of the prettiest dudes in front of you, and you're worried about who has control after you lose. The fuck? If I was Tank's team, I'd be saying, listen. If I was Tank, I'd be saying, listen, people. We've been given everything. We've been given the best catch weight. We've been given the sole rematch clause. Give these guys the power. Yeah. If I'm not good enough to beat this guy, we deserve to lose the control. That's what a real man would say. Tank is not a real man. He a cornball, and that's why he stays squabbling with females. Yeah? Same as Floyd. Floyd ain't never put no hands on no man. He only fight with females. Big facts. Yeah, he wouldn't know where to start without his big 10-man security team. Floyd's a scary dude, and Tank has learnt from Floyd. Yeah, remember a video. Floyd was scared to go into McDonald's without his security. Had to sit there and wait like a child. Scary ass dude. Yeah, Floyd was scared to go into McDonald's in case someone from the public pulled up and pressed him. You know what I'm saying? He's scary. Yeah? Simple as that. Tank is a scary dude. Bottom line. He's scared of losing, apparently. Listen, think about it. If Tank was sure he's going to win, number one, he would have been happy to fight at 140. And number two, he'd say, listen, it doesn't matter what you put in the rematch clause, because I'm smoking on this pretty looking ass TikToker's pack. Yeah? He ain't say that. I ain't trying to hear no more from Tank. Get the guy out of it. If this fight don't happen, it'll be all Tank's fault. Or Team Tank's fault. They corny. Smash the like button, subscribe, and